Flash your time with Triple G. Brace yourself for the things you'll see. From comic books to toys and more, and all cartoons that we adore. Pop culture, flicks and geeky stuff. We love it all and can't get enough. So settle in and enjoy the show. Please hit like and subscribe before you go.
How's it hanging, YouTube? Peter here, your ginger Geordie geek. Welcome back to the channel for my usual kind of weekend show where we just chat and talk comic books and all that kind of stuff. Let us know if this is the kind of time that works for you guys. I'm very conscious there's a lot of shows on a Saturday and leading into Saturday night, and I don't want to tread on toes. So I'm trying to pick a time that works for me, but doesn't conflict with anybody else's live shows. So 5 o'clock seems to be working okay. But let us know if this time doesn't work for you. So if you've not seen this show before, pretty straightforward. This will be myself talking comic books. I'm going to show you off some of my recent pickups. I'm going to talk to you about what I've been reading this week, and that's a focus on issue number 1. So the first issues of books that have come out this week. We're going to talk a little bit about some toys in my collection, and then a little bit about what's coming up on the channel. So lots to get through. Let's see who we have got in the chat. We have got Fuzzy of the Dunlop. Hey up, chap. Nice to see you, pal. Hope you're doing well, Fuzzy. We've got Terry. Nice to see you, Terry. Terry's put a cracking video out. I think, was it just yesterday it came out, Terry? About Batman books and things. So please go check that out. Very funny video. Great stuff. Great stuff. So check that out. We've got Tragedy Tales. Nice to see you, pal. Hope you're doing well. And we've got Luke. Good to see you, Luke. We'll have to organise that catch-up and coffee at some point, Luke. We've got a Costa and Bladen where you're from, so we'll try and catch up there, mate. Andrew, time doesn't matter to me. It has to work for the missus. So, Andrew, here's a true story, pal, true story. On your recommendation, I have been ploughing through Starfleet Academy. I'm up to episode, I want to say 4. I'm thinking of probably doing a little video about it because I'm freaking loving it. I don't understand what all the hate is. I don't understand why people are up in arms and getting all twisty about it. I'm thinking it's good fun. I am enjoying it. We've got Ash. Nice to see you, Ash. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Stuff, everyone. Nobody else cares about other folk. Look after number 1. That is very true, Fuzzy. That is very true. Yes. Terry's just shouting yes at random. Oh, about your video. Good stuff, pal. We've got Rygo9. Nice to see you. Thank you very much for joining. Terry, thank you. Not a problem. Dang it, Peter. Tell me next time you're on early. Almost missed the live. But about 9 o'clock over your neck of the woods, Terry. Efren, is it? Around about 9-ish or something like that, I think. I love Academy too. Really enjoying it, pal. Really enjoying it. Okie dokie, guys, let's crack on because we've got lots to get through tonight. We're going to start off as we usually do, just with a few pickups. So showing off some of the stuff that I have been buying over the last few days or weeks. Really interesting what you've been picking up as well. So if you've bought any decent pieces or any monthly comics or new toys or anything like that, stick it in the chat, please, and we'll have a bit of a chat about that. But I'm just going to quickly rattle through some of the stuff I've picked up of late. Now, we've talked about this a while. Oh, I'm so small. What my wife says. So I've picked up this. This is Mad Cave Flora Hippopotamus Cocaine Massacre. Talked about this last week and reviewed it. This book has gone up in value. Now, I really enjoyed this. I know Fuzzy I've been chatting with this morning. Not a fan. Not a fan is Fuzzy. But this is a decent little read. Goes for around about 30 to 40 quid on the internet at the moment. I don't believe it's going to maintain that price. I don't think any of these modern books are maintaining that price. So, but worth picking up. I got myself an extra copy of that because I really liked it. Dork issue number 1. Now, this one's a little bit of a mystery. I've talked about this book again on last week's show. I think we reviewed it. I've been chatting about it for a little while. I did comment on the show, on the Tuesday night show, maybe 2-3 weeks ago, that I had missed this. My local comic shop had sold out pretty much instantaneously. And I was not prepared to be, I've just spotted Fuzzy's comment, hippo omens. Yeah. I wasn't prepared to be paying the 60, 70, 80 pounds for this book. So then it arrived through my doorstep. No note, nothing attached to it. The postal address I don't recognize, so it's not somebody I know, but somebody has sent me a copy of this book, Dork #1, just for shits and giggles, I presume. So I cannot thank you enough. If you are someone that's a regular viewer, please do make yourself known, because I'd like to say a big thank you to you. I don't think it's one of my usual pals that send us books now and then, because I didn't recognize the address. Whoever it may be, a massive thank you. This is a pricey book, so I really do appreciate you sending it my way. It's a very, very kind gesture. Very kind gesture. So thank you for that. My copies of White Sky, again, we reviewed this last week. I've got 2 copies of this. One of them will be coming your way, Fuzzy. Not the best. Not the best. Efren, you're talking, you fibs, mate. Fibs. It wasn't an American package. It was a UK package. Now, I want to ask you guys this. I've got certain books that whenever I see them for a decent price, I have to buy, even though I know I've got multiple copies of it. So I've picked up a book that I know I've got a graded copy and at least, I want to say, 3 other copies of. But that is Secret Wars UK edition, issue #1, with the transfers attached. I don't know what it is about this book, but whenever I see this book with the transfers attached, it's got to have the transfers, I always buy it if it's a relatively decent price. But I don't know why. I just always have. I think it's because in my little nostalgic brain, this is one of the first comic books I remember buying and reading when I was a young kid with my pocket money at the corner shop with my dad. And I remember reading this one in detail. So I've always loved it. And I've always loved the cover as well. That incredible artwork on the cover there. But is there any books like that you guys collect? Is there anything that you know you've got multiple copies of in your collection and you just keep buying it because you love that particular book? I don't know. So yeah, that's Secret Wars #1. Now, wow, this is special. I will be doing another video on this, but I couldn't wait. I had to share it with you guys. A while ago, I became aware of a company called Clan McDonald on Facebook, who's a comic book site, I believe, over in the States, who seem to get to do an awful lot of commissioning events, signing events, and things like that. I got in touch with the guy and said, look, I'm Steve, I think he's called. I'm over in the UK. Do you still ship here? And somebody said, yes, no problem. And my pal, the patron of Comic Arts, dropped us a line and said, Peter, you need to check it out because there's an artist opportunity that I know you're a big fan of. And that was, of course, Walt Simonson. You all know Thor's my favorite character. So I sent this book off to the Clan McDonald signing and sketching event and got this absolutely, well, I think, stunner by Walt Simonson. CBCS 9.8 grade, hand-drawn sketch of Thor. You sent in what you wanted to him to do. I was quite specific because I've seen he's done a lot of these with the bearded Thor from his classic run, which is nice. But I like myself a nice shaven Thor, smooth. So I asked for a beautiful Thor image. I think that's a stonker, an absolute stonker. That's a beaut that will stay in my collection. It has taste us though, because I think if there's another opportunity, I may send off and ask him to do as a Beta Ray Bill, or a Hela or a Loki or something along those lines, because I just love it. I absolutely love it. So that's a Walt sketch of Thor. My pal, Peter of Comic Arts, got an absolutely stonking Galactus, a phenomenal looking Galactus, which he showed off on Instagram, I believe. But yeah, beautiful, beautiful CBCS 9.8 of the Mighty Thor. Now, I wanted to also just briefly mention this because I got another lovely package through the door today from our pal Andy, Perpetual Comics. As you know, we've been working towards doing a charity event We've put that on hiatus a little while whilst Andy gets himself back in line to come back to YouTube. But what he has done is continue to send us books. So he sent us some books for the charity event. So we've got some lovely covers for New Avengers there. Really nice. Love this old school all-star squadron with Ultraman fighting Superboy on the front there. Really nice. Is it Superboy or Superman? Superman it might be, but it's definitely Ultraman. But yeah, very, very nice. Very nice. We've got this. This is Batman 666. Lovely, lovely cover. And we've got an Uncanny X-Men 248. Again, really nice. Really nice. And some Mark Spears goodness. Everybody loves it. Boobies. Everybody loves a bit of Mark Spears, don't they? So he sent us those. So they are absolutely phenomenal for the charity event. But that's not all. He sent me a little gift for myself as well. Now, you may recall, I've recently done a video all about a favorite childhood character called Banana Man. Never seen these before. So Andy has very kindly sent us these. Little boy. But these are, I've never heard of these. These are Barrett's Banana Man candy sticks. So I presume you had candy stick sweets. And in each box, you got a little Banana Man card. There's Eric, look, with his little banana. And these are basically the full set, 1 to 48 of those card sets. So absolutely over the moon to have those. Lovely thing for Andy to send us. Never seen these before. They fit right in, fit right in with my my collection. So yeah, over the moon. So once again, can I just say I'm absolutely blown away. We've got this lovely gift from my good friend Andy. We've got the Dork issue number 1, just sent to us just out of people's kindness. So I cannot thank people enough for this kind of stuff. It really does mean an awful lot to us. Love these. Absolutely love these. I'm gonna have to try and you card people. If there's anybody in the chat who's a card collector, anybody know where I can get a binder or a sleeve that will fit those kind of cards? Are they the same as the old cigarette cards? I'm sure I've seen those kind of binders before. But I'd like to get a binder or something to display those in because they are beautiful. So that's them. That is the Banana Man candy stick set. Let's see who else we've got in the chat, guys. Fuzzy's just commenting on my Cocaine Hippo book, saying mince, hippo mince. I disagree, Fuzzy. I thought it was a good one. Got my Dork A, B, and C variant for 20 quid each. Good stuff, pal. Good stuff. I noticed I had a little look-see on eBay earlier on, and I see they're going for around about 50 quid now, I think. So the prices is most definitely coming down. It was a bit of excitement for a couple of weeks, but yeah, that's good going. There's a lovely variant. Can't remember who it's by. Is it by Otley? 150 variant or something, which is very nice. Just bought a pile of random shite at a local comic mart. Definitely a quantity over quality kind of day. Let me know what you picked up, pal. Any interesting books? And do you know what? There's nothing wrong with, I think, going to a Comic-Con or an event or something and just buying a load of books that you're actually going to read. It's madness, I know. But books that you're actually going to read, not just for the value in the collection. But, my shelves are stacked with stuff that I've picked up at car boot sales, fairs, and things like that for couple of quid a book that I just know I'm going to get to read at some point. Mystery price hike, yeah, probably. I'm not willing to pay for a Hulk 181 if anyone cares. No, how much is a Hulk 181 going for these days, guys? Anybody know? I haven't looked for a while. Nice Secret Wars book. It is. Everyone's one of my favorites, but it's one of my favorites. What bags and boards are you getting for the UK sizes? I'll have a look. I've got a box full of bags and boards, Luke, that I bought years ago of various sizes. I got them off the eBay, but I cannot remember off the top of my head what they are. But I've got I bought sizes that would fit 2000 AD books. and also sticker albums, because I collect a lot of Panini sticker albums. But I'll dig some out and have a look at what sizes there were. I don't buy the same comic over and over, but I do for model spaceships. Can never turn down an Enterprise. I'm going to show off a Star Trek toy today, Andrew, that I picked up on. I'm doing a video on it, guys. I've discovered a new toy shop, which is literally just down the road from me in a place called South Shields. Never seen it before. So I finished work early on Thursday, I think it was, and I poked my head into the shop just to have a little look, did a little bit of filming and stuff. And I ended up spending about 150 quid. It was, do you know when you go into one of those shops and you immediately kind of get that good feeling of, oh, this is going to be costly. This is going to be costly, but fun. And that's exactly what it was. So I asked the lady, she was very nice. I did a load of videos and photos and stuff like that. And then I put my phone away, and I think I was in the shop for about an hour, just rummaging and looking through stuff. And like I say, spent around about 150 quid. Bought stuff I never thought I'd buy before. Got a superb carded He-Man figure. Don't have any carded He-Man figures. So bought that. Bought a Mighty Max figure. Bought a Star Trek item and some other bits and bobs, but I'll show them off in the video. Sorrel, nice to see you, pal. Hope you're doing well. I noticed you went live early. I didn't get a chance to catch it because I've been doing other bits and bobs, so I'll go back and rewatch it, but hope you're well. Looks the part that Thor it is. It's a beaut. It's a beaut. Shaven Thor's skin. Yeah, absolutely. Super Sorrel and I are here. No James. Shameful. Jeez, if James ever watches. Chris, nice to see you. I'm here. The kids are eating tea or each other, whatever. Yeah, whatever. Nice to see you, Chris. Hope you're doing well, pal. Hi, Ken. Nice to see you, bud. Hope you're doing good. Concentration face, the fake fag sweets. So remember those. So am I right in thinking it was the white like cigarettes that were? I don't know what actually is the sweet in those cigarettes. What is it? Is it just like because it's got no flavor or anything, has it? It's just dust compacted or something. I don't know what it's meant to be. Anyway, he's so vain. He won't come on the streams now about it. Wow. The Barrett's candy sticks. Not seen those in years. Loved them as a kid. Used to pretend I was smoking. Yeah, I have not had. Do they still sell them even? I don't even know if they still sell them. They do. Yeah, Fuzzy. I've seen some of the cigarette cards in like a nice frame. I could do that, couldn't I? Run out of wall space, but I could do that. That would be very nice. Pod Racing Palpatine, nice to see you, pal. Every time I see Andrew's pick, I think it's the Twin Towers. Hulk 181 sold eBay listing for original 1974 comic. CGC going for about 1,500. Okay, depends on the grade. Actually, that's just reminded us. Yeah, I've got something to show you in relation to Hulk 181 later on. Luke Marshall, Lucky Target Comics normally have a good selection of bags. You've just described why I stay home most weekends. Yeah. Just sugar, is it? Just chalk and sugar. But I can't remember that. Maybe I'm misremembering. I don't remember them being particularly sweet. Do you know what I mean? If they were just compacted sugar, you would think they would have a real sugar hit to them. But I just seem to remember them just eating chalky, I don't know, shite. When you're ready, we're hitting Geek End. Yeah, bits of plastic and chinneries before the lemon top. Yeah, absolutely, pal. I'm away next weekend. It's my busy weekend where I'm going all over the shop, comic cons, toy shops, and all kinds of stuff. But after that, we'll sort something out. Bring your purse. Absolutely will. Absolutely will. It's not this. Oh, that's yeah. Okay, guys. So there we go. That's what I've been picking up lately. Let's talk a little bit about recent comics. So, for those of you that have not seen this part of the show before, what we do is we look at the recent issue number ones that have come out. We've got some interesting ones this week, and I have challenged myself, ladies and gentlemen. I've challenged myself not to just go for issue number ones that appeal. I've tried to pick up a variety of books that I wouldn't normally pick up, and you'll definitely see some here. So we're going to start off with this. This is Spider-Man Venom Death Spiral issue number 1. Now, I'm going to start off by saying, haven't got a freaking clue who this bloke Death Spiral is. He's the white guy in the back with the kind of the scar thing going on all around him in a spiral. This book, totally surprised us. Totally surprised us. I really, really enjoyed it. And it was good for an old fart like me who's out of line with the Spider-Man books a little bit, because it is very much an exposition issue. It's literally telling you who all the characters are, what's happening in the Spider universe, who's got what symbiote, who's doing what in the universe these days. And we're basically getting an introduction to every single character. We'll get Spider-Man explaining why he's just come back from space or whatever. We get Eddie Brock, who's Carnage now, who's only hunting serial killers. We get Venom, who's Mary Jane. We get Flash Thompson, who's, I think, still Agent White Venom or something. And then we get this kind of bottom of the page panel going through every page, where basically anybody that's got a name or a link to Spider-Man, Eddie Brock, that kind of Peter Parker, that kind of thing, is being bumped off or dying somehow. So it doesn't necessarily say the relatives of these people, but for some reason those people are getting bumped off. By the end, you get the kind of the reveal that somebody, I'm not going to spoil it for people, but somebody that we've been reading about this entire issue is actually a traitor and is working with this spiral bloke, creature, whatever he is, to basically bump off people linked to Peter Parker, Spider-Man, and Eddie Brock. In the next issue, he's set his target on Mary Jane Watson. I really enjoyed the artwork for this. I thought the story was actually pretty good. It was far better than I expected. I will probably be reading on with this one. This one piqued me interest. It got us turning the page. I was quite enjoying it. So yeah, I will read on with this one. Then we get this. We get The Punisher issue number 1. This is a relaunch, again, of The Punisher. This is a follow-on, a direct sequel to the, I want to say, 5-part Red Band Punisher story that came out a couple of months back. First things first, me and Fuzzy were talking about this earlier today. Red Band is an absolute scam. Red Band is basically Marvel's kind of slap it on the book, and it means that we've got more blood, more gore, and all the rest of it. And I think they add an extra £1 to the price of the comic or something along those lines. Absolutely no need for it. We've got this issue, which is not Red Band labeled, and is, I would argue, just as graphic, just as violent as the Red Band books. I mean, as an example, we've got somebody who's peeled someone's face off and their hand skin off and is wearing it. Wearing the hands as gloves, wearing the face as a mask, and is dripping blood everywhere, and then rips the face off. And that doesn't get a Red Band. So I just didn't understand what the hell it's all about. Anyway, enough moaning. This book picks up after the end of that series, where we knew that the Punisher had a microchip or something implanted into his brain, which basically meant the Kingpin could control him. He's dug that out. He's escaped from the Kingpin's control, and he's captured microchip. And in this book, we basically get to see what's happened since then. So that series ended where Punisher basically gunned down Kingpin and put Tombstone in jail. This book has got Punisher back on the streets, doing what he does, wandering around, taking out criminals left, right, and center. We've got a change in the kind of the King of New York City crime boss side of things, where an old character, again, I ain't going to spoil it, but an old character heavily linked to the Punisher comes back and basically is making a move to be the biggest baddie in the area, basically. The interesting twist on all this is that it seems whenever Punisher cuts loose and bumps off a load of bad guys, because of this hole in his brain, he has some kind of fit and collapses. So he's basically captured Microchip and asked Microchip to fix him, to make him whole again. I loved it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was super violent, super graphic. Punisher back in form with the skull on his chest. I don't think, unless I've totally brushed it by, I don't think we've even bothered to try and explain how he's getting back from the fancy land he was in and all the rest of it that happened with the hand and everything. He's just back and he's bumping off bad guys. Really recommend this one, ladies and gents. I thought it was spot on. Let's just quickly catch up and see what the chat are saying. Too soon. Crap Marvel books incoming. Fuzzy, how dare you? You got no belief in me, Fuzzy. It's going to get worse, Fuzzy. It's going to get worse. Not just crap Marvel books, mate. Yeah. Just realized it's almost 520 and it's still light outside. Spring is coming. Quite right. The trade dress on the Spider-Man book is horrendous. Yeah, it's awful. Makes me sick, so I'll bring back winter. Sounds like a Saturday night in Stockton. You aren't wrong, Chris. Yeah. Okay. Shit in the bed. Whoa. Yeah. Like I said, challenging myself. Archie's been going for 50 years or something like that. Massive audience. People love it. It's got TV things. Sorrel loves it. They cannot be wrong, can they? They cannot be. So I thought I'd give it a go. Yeah, it's shit. That's not fair. This is a book of three, I want to say. Three little mini stories. Do you know what? If you're a kid, this is fine. This is school kind of book things, you know. I don't know how to describe it. It's like Saturday morning cartoon kind of stuff, Flintstones and things like that. The first story, this Cosmo one, I don't understand what the hell was going on. Basically, they got in a spaceship, flew into space, got stuck. Cosmo said hello, gave them a spaceship to fly home in. They flew home in their spaceship. It broke down, and Cosmo was on board, and it ended. That was it. That was the story. It was hurrah. So I didn't get it. The other stories were about how Archie wiped out everybody that lives on Mars by accident and came to Earth when the dinosaurs were here or something. So listen. The bottom line is this was for kids, not for me, but it was all right for a quick read. Yeah, then I thought I'd give this a go as well. This is Disney Villains Ursula from Dynamite Comics. Little Mermaid, not my biggest favorite of the Disney movies, but I thought I would try this out and see what it was like. This is a story about how, I didn't realize, but all the different oceans have got different versions of sea witches, different versions of Ursula. So she's got 7 sisters or 6 sisters or whatever. And at the start of this book, one of the sisters is, in essence, murdered by someone, and lets out a scream, which alerts Ursula. So she goes trying to find out what's going on and find out who the murderer is and all that kind of stuff. I actually really enjoyed this. This was good fun. I didn't enjoy it enough, mind, to say I'm going to read on, but it was a good, fun little story. I didn't mind this one at all. The artwork was quite nice. It was very Disney. If you're a big fan of Disney, I'm sure this would blow you away. It was fun. Fuzzy glutton for punishment. Yeah, you read the wrong Archie. Yeah, every time I read an Archie book, Sorrel, you tell us it's the wrong Archie. Even when I read the Archie books you've recommended, I'm pretty sure there isn't a right Archie book. I think you're just pulling my leg. 85 years, it says in the book. Oh, sorry, Terry, I didn't spot that. Christ, 85 years Archie's been going. I like the Archie covers. He's trying so hard to discuss it without saying shit. Phil, nice to see you, pal. Me and Phil are going to be doing some videos together soon, all about Masters of the Universe and other stuff. We need to get that in the diary, Phil, but looking forward to working with you on that, bud. Try Vampironica, Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, and Werewolf in Riverdale. I will give them a go. Jesus, are you depressed? Yeah. Yeah. I think you lost a bet. If you pull my leg again, yeah, I will do. Let's move away from Archie and Ursula. Oh, it's not getting any better. No, that's not true. This was interesting. This one I saw in the solicitations, and someone, I think it was Fuzzy, or it might have been Deadman or someone mentioned this on one of the live shows. Threads of Destiny, Star Trek Deviations. Now, I don't know why, but when I picked this up, I thought this was the start of basically a Star Trek What If series, but it's not. It's a one-shot. So someone in the chat, tell us, has there been other Star Trek Deviations books? Have I just missed those? This one's all about Uhura. It's basically very similar to an episode of the old original series. The Enterprise crew beam down to an alien planet, and on the alien planet are all the mirrors that show different timelines, different time periods in Earth history, basically. And in this one, there's an earthquake, and Uhura falls through one of the mirrors and disappears into the early 60s. And the book is basically about her interactions with the local populace, about racism in the 60s, and then how she joins a march and meets Martin Luther King. So it's an interesting story. I understand why they've done it. I understand it ties in with Black History Month. It wasn't, I'm trying to not sound really negative. It wasn't a particularly exciting story or interesting story. It very much reads like a let's get Uhura to meet Martin Luther King kind of story. And that it kind of ends. So once she's met him, once she's done the march, she goes back to the Enterprise. So yeah, I understand why they've done it. It's nice cultural book, I guess. It's certainly appropriate for Black History Month and to remind ourselves of the horrific racism that exists, still exists in the world. But as a Star Trek book, it didn't excite us and blow us away. So yeah, it wasn't amazing. Put it that way. It wasn't amazing. See what people are saying. I'll have to say that. Kildy DC Corgi, nice to see you. Terry, I've not read it yet. Let us know what you think when you do read it, Terry. Like I say, it's an all right story. It's just it doesn't need to be Star Trek. Now, sorry, I'll ask the Trekkies in the chat. If you've read this book, let us know. There is a line where Uhura's talking to Martin Luther King, and I can't remember the exact line, but he says something to her. I'm pretty sure that's a direct quote from when the actress who played Uhura met Dr. King, because I'm sure you know the Star Trek history. She was going to quit Star Trek, and she spoke to Dr. King, and basically he said, no, do you realize how important culturally you are on this show, and how big of a step this is? And he convinced her to stay, basically. I've got a feeling that's a direct line in that as well. I picked up 4 blank covers: Rocketeer, Muppets Noir, Dark Knight Returns, and Phantom of the Opera. That makes 85 blank covers I've got to draw. Good stuff. I've got a load of the Muppets Noir ones coming, so I'm looking forward to that. No more of these. Believe this is a comment. Yeah, Black History Month. That's right. I realised I joined late, but the 3 comics you've shown since look pure dumb. Yeah. There have been other deviations, but not many. Oh, yeah, I might check those out. Nice cultural book. That's cracking me. I picked up those House of Loather and read that first issue. It did nothing for me, but the art style was nice. Not had my copy yet, but will confirm when I get my books. Yeah, it's a very clear reference, I think, Andrew. Okay, let this. I put the wrong image on there. This is an interesting one as well. This was the Rocketeer in the Island, issue number 1. Love the art style. I can't show you the image because I've ballsed it up and put the wrong one on. This book threw us. So it starts off with the Rocketeer meeting Amelia Lockhart, and then basically he's asked by the government to go and explore a island where there's been an aircraft go down, and he needs to go and rescue the people that went down, basically. So he charters a boat, and this is where it completely threw us. So I don't know what properties ID have got at the moment. I know they've got an awful lot, but basically, he's going to an island which has got skulls all over it, it's very much been kind of touted as Monster Island from the Godzilla movies, but it's not called that yet. So I don't know if it's going to be Monster Island. But on this boat he's got, Popeye wanders in. That threw us. And I thought, oh, that looks like Popeye. I wonder if they're just kind of making it. But then no, he references himself as Popeye. So it is Popeye's on the boat with them. And then Tintin and Tintin's dog, is it called Snowy, wander onto the boat as well. And they have a chat. And I was like, what the shit is this? What's going on? So in this book, we've got so far the Rocketeer, Popeye, Tintin, Snowy, and they're going to Monster Island, is my understanding. So yeah, it kind of threw us a little bit. So yeah, but it was fun. That's a poor cover, Fuzzy says. I don't mind the cover. Tell you what it reminds us of, Fuzzy. Actually, I need to check and see if it's the same artist. What was that book John did, the guy who does Sync, about the Scottish movie theatre thing? Can't remember what it was called. It's got a look of that kind of monster, very bulky and square looking. I don't know if it's the same artist. Judging by the picture, did Uhura also meet the Rocketeer? No, not in this one. Well, now I want this book. Yeah, I mean, I will read on. That's the funny thing. I will read on. Peter, will you please say hello to Charlie here for me? Hello, Charlie. Hope you're doing well. Thank you very much for watching. Rocketeer Island, I picked up today too. Haven't read it yet. Let us know what you think, Luke. Let us know what you think. I'm undecided yet whether I liked it or not, if it just felt a bit all over. It feels very much like a setup episode. So yeah, we'll see. Evening. Sorry I'm late. I was watching the footy. Won't happen again. You're not a problem. You're allowed to watch this time. You're allowed to be late. Go have an ice cream, Charlie. Uncle Fuzz says it's okay. Whoa, nice ice cream. Have yourself an ice cream. Let us know what flavour you're going for. Popeye's public domain, as long as they do their own version, might explain why it looks odd. Yeah. So is Tintin as well then? Don't know. He doesn't need the sugar. He can never beat sugar. You always have more sugar. We've then got this. This is Predator Bloodshed. Close your eyes, Charlie. This is Predator Bloodshed. This is the latest in the Marvel Predator books with the god-awful 20th Century Studios logo at the top corner there. This was a really interesting one. So this is basically, there's an island in the middle of nowhere that basically gets fighters from all kinds of different mixed martial arts and people who are enhanced and all that kind of stuff to come to this island and to fight no holds barred for rich people, basically. So in this book, you get introduced to all of these various people who are going to go in the ring and have fights to try and earn a bit of money for the families and things like that. You get introduced to the kind of the people who are watching but behind glass and betting on the sports. And then a predator turns up just for a laugh. So the predator appears, he watches a couple of the fights, and then this image here is where one of the guys pulls a sword out of nowhere. The predator obviously decides that's unfair, so it chops his hands off and jumps into the ring. And it kind of ends it kind of ends where the predator's in the ring now facing off a couple of these combatants. It was very by the numbers, but actually, do you know what? It was good fun. I didn't mind it at all. I will be reading on with this one. This is Mad Cave. This is Ted okay? Interested to know if any of you guys have picked this one up or read it. It kind of just jumped out at us because I love the cover. It's written and drawn by this Dave Chisholm chap, who I'm not familiar with his work. I think it's about 5 or 6 issues long. Really weird. I read the full first issue. Don't think I understand what's happening, but it's got us intrigued enough to continue on. So we're introduced to this guy, Ted, who's basically an office worker, excuse me, who sat tapping on a computer. We don't really know what his job is. It's set in the kind of the future. So he's tapping away. Every now and then he draws pictures of people looking at him. Someone comes in to talk to him, and you can see they're scared to talk to him, but they're just asking if he's okay, kind of thing. And then you get to see the outside view, which is this lady who's narrating the story, who's employed by the company Ted works on to watch him and other people. and she's basically monitoring everything he does and watching for signs of suicide or homicide. So basically watching to see if he goes off the rails a bit. And that's what the story's about. Her watching him and him doing his job and then leaving and talking to a cat and stuff. And all the way through, there's kind of imagery and posters up, which shows you that it's like almost a Blade Runner-esque kind of future where it's, you know, people leaving work. There's armed guards saying, don't talk to anybody, don't disturb people. People just want to walk and get on with their lives and things like that. And then she follows him and he's in a massive car crash, bursts into flames, and she presumes he's dead. And then he's at work the next day. And it kind of just ends there a little bit with kind of a what the hell is going on kind of thing. So I can't explain to you, and I've probably done a terrible job there of explaining what the comic's about. I can't explain to you what the book is actually about, other than I found it really interesting and intriguing, and I will be reading on. I will definitely give it another issue and see how it goes, but it's an odd one. It is an odd one. And then we're going to end with this. I think we've had 3 Vertigo issues in 3 weeks now, haven't we? This is Brutal Dark. So this is the story of what starts off with an archaeology dig back at the start of the kind of the century, which discovers an anvil, and then it jumps 30 years in the future, and we'll get this kind of private eye story, a mix of Indiana Jones and kind of Dick Tracy kind of thing going on, where he's out solving crimes and things like that, and he basically gets pulled into this story of this archaeology dig and how this anvil thing has now been stolen. And it ends, the book ends basically with this lady saying that her husband's been murdered by the Brutal Dark, but doesn't explain what the Brutal Dark is or anything. I quite enjoyed this. It was interesting. The artwork's nice. Jacob Phillips' artwork is always nice. I will read on probably another issue just to see if I understand it and to see what it's doing. But I have to be honest, out of the 3 Vertigo books we've had, so we had the zombie one and we had the one about the hitman, this is the least I've enjoyed. This one was okay, but didn't blow us away. Didn't blow us away, sadly. Okay, let's just jump to the chat and see what people have got to say. Just 1 second. When there's just one of you doing the show, I don't have time to drink. It's terrible. Deviations. I thought there were just 2 of those, but the Uhura story is 2. The first one of the Romulans visit Earth before the Vulcans. All right, that's interesting. That's interesting. I've got off my phone, swearing aloud again. Balls, shit, F. I'm not saying F because Terry gets upset. I don't know how Predator fans can keep up with the constant flow of releases. They never stop. It's interesting you say that, Fuzzy. I read this book, and then halfway through, I suddenly thought, hang on a minute. Did I even finish Marvel versus Predator? That one where the Predators invaded the planet and all the heroes were dying. I can't, if I've read the end of it, it's been that crap, I can't even remember the end. Or there's a good chance I've just missed the book. So I don't know. I'm going to have to go back and sort through my boxes and see if I actually got that one, because I can't remember it. I seem to remember the last issue, them dropping Thor into the center of the earth or something. I can't remember. Not a clue. You're absolutely right, Fuzzy. There's just too much stuff. Not convinced with the what do you call him? Is Tom all right, or is Ted okay? Yeah, I don't know, Fuzzy. I'll give it one more go. I've been well impressed with Vertigo relaunch, $3.99 cover price. Complain. Yeah, I agree. The good books. They are good books. Okay, toy time. Let's just talk a little bit about action figures and things I've pulled out of my box. I've got four things to show you that I've pulled out of the box, and I've got one thing that I've just picked up recently to talk about. But I wanted to show off this. I think this is a cracking Marvel Legends figure. It's a double pack. Was it a double pack? I think it came with Null. This is the Venom figure from a few years back. Think you got a secondary head with this. You get the wings, which bolt onto the back here. But I think this is a cracking Venom figure. Even without the wings, it's a beaut. Only thing that I think is wrong with this figure is the wings are a pig to push in and don't really hold the weight. So they're quite floppy and things like that. But the head sculpt on this is pretty darn impressive. It's a real nice version of Venom. The Null figure wasn't too bad either. I think he's in my box downstairs somewhere. And the claws and everything are really cool. I like the textured look of the suit as well. So yeah, that's a pretty nice Null version Venom, King in Black, sorry, version of Venom with the wings. Did he use the wing? I didn't read the storyline. I've got it on my shelf to read here. Did he use the wings again? Or were they like just I don't remember ever seeing Venom with wings. I don't know. But yeah, nice figure, that one. I particularly like that one. Next, I want to just give a bit of a shout out to our pal James, who does cards on Instagram. I'll still stick a line in the chat, but spotted this when I was going through my stuff. I've got a few of James's cards. This is one of my favorites. This is Count Duckula that he did for us a few years back, I think. Absolute stunner. Absolute stunner. Please go check James out on Instagram. He does commissioned cards, so please go and check him out. Get a few commissions of him. He's cheap as chips. He charges practically nothing for these cards. So please go and throw some business his way. Get him to do a few cards for you. Just Star Wars. He's a Tops artist. He's sketch cards are in a lot of Star Wars Tops packs. So get yourself a card from a recognized artist. Please let him know I sent you in his direction. Like I say, I will put the link in the description. Chris or somebody else, anybody that's on the chat, my brain's gone blank because I'm prattling on. What's the name of his Instagram account again? It's not James Boyd, is it? Is it just Sketch Cards? I can't remember. If someone knows what the name of his Instagram account is, stick it in the chat, please. But yeah, just look at the quality of the work, man. It's fantastic. He's done me some brilliant cards. He's done this one. He's done as a Terrifier. He's done some great stuff. So yeah, please go check James out and throw him some commissions his way. Love this. Love this. Don't know why. Yeah, JB cards, I think it might be, Fuzzy. Thank you. I will check it out after the show and stick it in the comments. Got this a while ago when Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was at its height on TV. And it's one of those kind of Chinese reproduction kind of prop things. I quite like these kind of things. But it's a Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. This is metal, silver card. So you can stick if you want. You can put your picture and things in there. And it's a S.H.I.E.L.D. Card. Strategic Homeland Intervention Enforcement Logistics Division. So I love that. I don't know why I like stuff like this. Any of you guys collect stuff like this? I don't know why I do, but I don't know. I like this kind of stuff. And this was out. You know what I mean? You get this kind of stuff from eBay and things. And I think I paid like a tenner or something for it. And it's just a nice little prop. Fuzzy saying you've definitely used that. Well, of course I have, Fuzzy. Of course I have. Anytime anybody stops us, I'm like, excuse me. Yeah. Let us past. This was a gift a while ago off my friend Charlie from Killer Comic Show. Remember that? And it's a fig pin. And it's a good Gundam wing fig pin. Now, I don't have any other fig pins, but it's quite a nice item. I quite like that. Any of you guys collect these things? Oh, there's still a thing. I don't know if fig pins are really still a... I don't know. Any of you guys collect fig pins? I know they were all the rage a few years back. And I do quite like them. It's not something I particularly collect. I think, are they done by the same people that do pops and things like that? I don't know. But yeah, I do like that. And I think there's a Gundam film coming out soon with Henry Cavill, isn't there? So yeah, that looks quite nice. And then this is a recent pickup. Saw this and had to get it. This is an original communicator. This is from 1996, obviously based on the original series TOS. Really nice. There was a version talking about Star Trek, and I've automatically gone to virgins. There was a version after this which had buttons on the side which flipped the lid for you and made the communicator noise. Because this is the original one, it doesn't have that, unfortunately, but it has got a nice shiny metallic top, which the other one doesn't have. You can flip this open, but basically it opens up and you've got your traditional communicator kind of imagery inside there. This is the talkback version, so I've popped some batteries in it. Basically, you press your button here and you can record a message, and then you press that one and it talks back to you. So you get, so this is how sad I am. So I say things like, you know, beam us up, and it says, it's horrendous, it says energizing or whatever. So yeah, quite nice. Again, the reason I picked this up is because I talk a lot about Star Trek on this channel, and I am a big Star Trek fan. I am more so the Next Generation and that kind of era of Star Trek. But I've just kind of realized I don't think I've got anything really in my vintage toy cabinet behind us here. So this hits that mark for us. This is quite a nice little older item that I'm just going to pop in the cabinet as a communicator. So yeah, do like that. Do like that. So yeah, picked that up a little while back. Let's just see what the chat has seen. Venom, have it. Great figure. It's hard to pose with the wings. A bit of patience and you're flying. Yeah, I found it quite a challenge. I also found it a challenge to find somewhere where it's fit in with the collection, to be honest, because the wings are so big, it's knocking everything else over, isn't it? But it is a nice figure. You're right, Phil. And the head sculpt is spot on. Absolutely spot on. I managed to get that Venom Null Legends pack on clearance from Game. Yeah, that's where I got mine from. Pretty sure they screwed up the price because it was like 16 quid. I don't think I paid, maybe I did. I remember at the time it was like 60 quid a box or something like that. And I remember getting mine from Game on clearance and it was like 20 quid maybe or something like that. I don't remember the exact price, but I remember it being vastly cheaper than it was that everyone else was getting it. James, he's good with advice for pencils and such too. Yeah, he's switched on. He knows his stuff. He really does know his stuff. Stephen, keep meaning to get some of these done. I know my nephew wants a few Star Wars cards from James. He does some beautiful work, Stephen. Really would recommend you check him out. Yeah, JB sketch cards. That's right, JB sketch cards. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate that. He used the wings early on against Grendel, and I think in the King in Black finale. I missed that Venom run. Yeah, before you came on, Phil, I was just talking about the new mini-series, Spiral, I think it's called. Quite enjoyed that. It was quite interesting, the first issue. You've definitely used that as a wallet, throwing your weight around at the bingo. Yeah. It's get free drinks and stuff like that, Fuzzy, do you know what I mean? Tell them I'm a health inspector or something. I don't collect them, but I got the Mando in B&M for a few quid. I didn't know they did them in Mando, in B&M bargains. I remember them being all the rage, Chris, and I remember when I was at Star Wars Celebration, there was some limited ones or something. So I think I got I got one for Andy. And I think that was a Mandalorian type one or something. But it was black and white. I don't know why. But it was like a limited one for Star Wars Celebration. My pal Keith sent me 5 Marvel ones over from Ireland one night when he was drunk. Did he? Oh, Fuzzy, bugger off. Nah, I'm not having it. Shatner's not a trumpet. Shatner's not a trumpeter. He's not. He can't be. He can't be. I don't believe that for a second. I don't believe that for a second, Fuzzy. You're winding us up. You're winding us up. Still need a original series communicator. Good job, Master Replicas are re-releasing the Diamond Select version from 20 years ago. I had the Diamond Select Next Generation tricorder, which was really cool when I was a kid. I used to flip that open and it would make all the noises and everything like that. Chief Trumpeter, piss off. He's not. I don't believe a word you say, Fuzzy. You're talking porky pies. Anyway, guys, let's move on. Shelf lifetime, just to show you a few books in my collection. I've done the same as I did the last time. I've picked some larger format books and some small books as well. So I'm saying small books, some standard. Chris Bell, you're winding us up as well. You two are terrible. At least I've got Andrew here saying no, he's a Canadian. He doesn't like them. So, a couple of comic books just for you to chat about. Let us know what you think of them. We've got this. This is one of my favorite books, and I really do recommend people pick this up and read the series. This is I Hate Fairyland by Scotty Young. Just a great series. Gertrude is absolutely phenomenal. Forget the name of the fly thing. What's the fly thing called again? Can't remember. The scar smoking fly thing. Just a fun read. You can get it in nice volumes. I've got the kind of the collected edition behind us there. I would be very surprised if we don't at some, but that Larry, that's it, Phil. Thanks, Larry. I'll be very surprised if we don't get some kind of adult cartoon version of this at some point. The reason I picked this one out is because it jumps out at us because it's very similar to that Dork book, I think, in art style and all the rest of it. It's a great run, well worth reading. Yeah, highly recommended. I think, Phil, I think it was you guys that got me into this, because I think, did you review the first volume on the Nerd Herd? I've got a feeling you guys read the first volume, and that's why I picked this up and really enjoyed it. Good little book. Good little book. Then we've got this. This is an older one. This is from 1962, I think. This is, where's the issue number? This is issue number 113 of The Flash. This is the first appearance of the Trickster, the original Trickster. Really nice book. But again, it's an older book, so you can see how these books start to suffer with the passage of time. The spine on it is shockingly bad, as you might expect. You can see there's lots of issues at the bottom corners here, and you can also see along the top here, color rub, where it's just all been worn away over the passage of time. But still, really, really nice book. I like this one. It's just a shame there's a mark there on the Trickster himself. But didn't pay a lot for this. But it's a lovely, lovely book. I stopped collecting Flash. I don't really collect many DC books, and I'm not a run collector, as you all know. But I did collect key books. But at one point, I was collecting a lot of Flash first appearances, but they're very expensive for some of the earlier books. But yeah, I stopped doing that. I might go back to that at some point. But lovely cover. This is an interesting one. I've got a few copies of this. This is Weapon X from Marvel Comic Presents, issue number 72. This is the first time we start to get a bit of an origin story for Wolverine. The beginning of the now infamous Weapon X program, when they capture him and put the adamantium in him. This book's been referenced in movies, and it continues to kind of be referenced in the current Marvel Comics. Weapon X, or the Weapon X program, I should say, is still around in the current Marvel universe. Nice key book to get a hold of. You can get it for relatively cheap. Like I say, I got a bundle deal. I got about 5 copies of this, and I've given away a load over the time in my giveaway box. But it is a nice book, and that artwork is beautiful for Wolverine. Before Wolverine, there was Weapon X. Just a stunner. This one's quite nice. This has never really found the readership that it deserves, I think. This is the Sentry, issue number 1. They've tried to make a character interesting and full of intrigue, and basically he's just never really took off. They've misstepped all the way with this guy. I don't know if you remember at the time, but before this book came out, there was loads of stuff in the comic press of the day, Wizard magazine, Comics International and stuff like that, about them having found a Marvel comic character that Stan Lee had designed, and they really tried to make us believe that this character was a new character that would just forgotten about and all this kind of stuff. Just never really worked. It was, yeah, I don't know. I've got a lot of time for Sentry. I hope he does well. Now, Chris, if you're still in the chat, help us out. I don't know if this is a first appearance or not a first appearance. I don't know. Captain America 354, US agent. Great use of breaking the trade dress there. I think that's why I really like this book. Really enjoy the smashing of the dress. I can't remember if this is this his first appearance in the black costume, the US agent costume, or I can't remember. I'm sure Chris will know if he's still in the chat. But yeah, Captain America 345, classic US agent cover. Just a real nice one. I like the character of US agent. I thought he was superb in the recent Thunderbolts movie as well. Really enjoyed his appearance in that. Right, let's see what the chat is saying before we move on to the bigger books. Shatner isn't, for one, he's Canadian. He released a 10-minute monologue on how great Trump was. Did you not see it? I didn't miss that one. Chris. I'll check it out. Canadian with a Trump-gifted green card. Dork is by Brett Bean, the former artist on I didn't link the two, but that's interesting, Fuzzy. That is interesting. Because there's a lot of comparison, I think, when you read Dork. Very, very similar. Love the Flash cover. It's a nice, and it is a nice. That era of Flash had loads of firsts, and all the covers are fantastic. They absolutely are. The beautiful ones. That Spiral is a one-shot. The story continues through 3 other series. Ends with, oh, yeah. Thanks, Terry. I'm out. I cannot be chewed with that shit. Cannot be chewed with picking up multiple books and all the rest of it. Nah. I'll read the trade when the trade's finished. I've been grabbing Flash trade paperbacks lately, hoping for a speedy read. You can't go wrong with the Mark Waid stuff, Phil. Mark Waid's version of the Flash was great. Grant Morrison's was good, but typical Grant Morrison. We had him racing against space rabbits and things like that. But then when Jeff Jones comes in as well around issue, is it 120 or something like that? That's really good as well. Jeff Jones does this is pre-52 I'm talking. I'm totally out of touch with current Flash. But certainly Mark Waid, Jeff Jones do some great stories for the Flash. Born to Run is phenomenal. I bought a gorgeous 60s Superman cover last week and ripped the cover, taken out of the bag. Fuzzy. It's a bugger when that happens, isn't it? It's an absolute bugger when that happens. See what you did there. Not sure your definition is as cheap as the same as mine. Need to pick up that Sentry #1. It's a nice book. I read that Sentry and Magneto on Pawn and the End of Doomsday. Yeah, I'd heard a lot about Magneto. I haven't read a great deal about Sentry, but I know Magneto's apparently got some big scenes in it, which would be cool. It's Johnny Walker's first full appearance. Right. Thank you. What issue number for that Superman? 195. Okay, let's show off a few big books to round the show off. We've got this. I wouldn't normally buy this. This is Heavy Metal from 1979. Reason I picked this up is it's got the Alien illustrated story. So in reality, it's the first time Alien appears in a comic book. Lovely painted artwork on the front and back cover here. But the reason I quite like this is an error copy. So you've got your Alien story, but also inside you've got a double cover. So we've got an inside cover, which is the same as the outside cover, which is normally a real nice bonus when you get these books graded. So if you don't know, those of you that do grade books, this happens quite often. It's very well, not quite often, but it's an easy mistake. Basically, what happens is the printing machine slap 2 covers on by mistake. But the interesting thing is, if you send this to CGC, you still only get 1 grade. And what they do is they grade this cover, and then they grade the inside cover. And whichever cover's got the highest grade goes towards your overall grade. So that means that for a book like this, you've got that cover protected by an outer layer. So you get a bit of a grade boost, hopefully. So if you ever see a double cover book, they are worth picking up because they're quite nice. And like I said, this one has got some great stories in it, some great artwork, but it's got that original Alien story, which is why I've picked it up. Bit of a beaut. I like that one. I've then got this. This is the I don't know what it's called. What's the magazine called? The Dark something. The Dark Side. Picked this up because it's got a cover, an absolutely beautiful cover of one of my favorite movies, Fright Night. Got some great imagery in the front cover there. If you've not seen that film, it's a one I talk about a lot. Really recommend you check it out. It's what I class as a fun horror. It is horror, but it's funny. It's got good special effects, practical special effects. It's well worth watching. Now I'm talking about the original one, not the remake with Colin Farrell. Although that one is pretty good as well, mind. I'll give it its due. That one is pretty good as well. Picked this one up, went to For the Love of Horror, and got the main actor, the guy who plays the main vampire in it, who also is in Princess Bride and does the voice of one of the main characters. Can't remember. Chris will remind us, or someone remind us, the main character, the ghost thing in Nightmare Before Christmas. Anyway, got him to sign the front of it here, and he's written a quote from Fright Night. It says, "To Peter, you have to have faith," which is a line that the character says in the movie. Christopher Sarandon, I think he's called. So yeah, just love this. Absolutely love it. One of my favorites. Very pleased to get it. Oh, and there we are. That's me on the back. That was a bit. So that's the guy himself and me and Mr. Keegan. Me and Mr. Keegan. Now, interesting story about that. This was a little while after For the Love of Horror. And Chris wore a mask for all of his photos because he's an older guy and he's very health conscious. Now, we weren't told that when we went in for the photo shoot. So the organizers of Monopoly events refunded everybody the photo charges, which I thought was very nice of them. Very nice of them. So yeah. So that's that. Now we've got this. This is very important to us because this is definitely one of the first comics I remember reading as a kid. I always go for comics with free gifts if I can find them. This is the original X-Men issue #1 from all the way back in 1983. Comes with its free gift, Spinner toy gun. This reprints X-Men #1 with that absolutely beautiful image on the front cover there. So I remember buying this from the newsagents back when I was a kid. And just, this is what I think one of the books that made us fall in love with the X-Men. But yeah, it's a class book. This is another nice one. This is Transformers 113. Rodimus Prime speaks out, "Bring me the head of Galvatron." This is an important comic book because it introduces one of my favorite characters, Death's Head. Really cool character. He's recently made a reappearance in the Ultimate Universe as a character in that, but he's a bounty hunter basically with interchangeable hands. And he was introduced in the Transformers books. This is signed by Simon Furman, who's the creator of Death's Head, and also did an awful lot of the Transformer comic books from back in the day. It's an absolute beaut. Absolute beauty. Love that one. And then this is a nice one, and it links into something we were talking about earlier in the show. Hulk 181, first appearance of Wolverine. This is the UK version. So I have got a Hulk 181 CGC American version, 7.0 I think. But this is the UK first appearance of Wolverine in Marvel. This is issue 198. Again, beautiful cover work, really nice imagery, and now the Wolverine. Now, the point I'm showing this one, guys, is because quite often these UK books don't get a lot of love. They don't get a lot of attention, shall we say, from comic book collectors. But there are some great ones out there. This run in particular is beautiful. I've got the issue before this, which is the cameo appearance of Wolverine. And these books, if you find them out there in the wild, they're worth picking up, particularly if they're in good condition. This particular copy, which is a nice spine and all the rest of it, isn't graded, obviously, but raw, this is worth about 300 to 400 quid. So they do retain a bit of value. If you get them graded and you get a good grade, you can get close to £1,000 for some of them. So yeah, I recommend you keep your eyes open, because quite often if you are out comic book hunting, a lot of old shops, bookshops and things just have boxes and stacks of these old UK comics just kind of put to one side, smelling all foisty and all the rest of it, because there's not deemed to be a lot of value in them. But if you know what you're looking for, you can get some beauts. So that's first appearance of Wolverine in a UK comic book. Okie dokie. Let's see what we've got in the chat. Where do we get up to? Fuzzy. Some fantastic covers on Heavy Metal. Yeah, it's a lovely magazine. There's some great stories in it as well. But you're absolutely right, Fuzzy. Some beautiful painted artwork on the Heavy Metal covers. I mean, that one in particular is really nice. I do like it, but there's certainly a lot of better covers than that, shall we say. But a lot of fantasy covers, which I really like, which are very, very nice. And again, Heavy Metal is a book you can pick up quite often in second-hand shops and things like that for pennies. You know, great picking up just for the artwork, really. They grade the best cover, don't they? Yeah, they do, pal. They do, which is always a bonus. Always a bonus. Canadian Survivalist, nice to see you, pal. Hope you're well. That Jason 1258. Nice to see you. Fright Night rocks. One of my all-time favorites, Jason. One of my all-time favorites. Love it. Like I say, the remake that they did not so long ago isn't bad as well. But the original Fright Night, stay clear of the sequels. Fright Night 2 is not the best. And then it goes rapidly downhill from there. Never seen Fright Night. Oh, man, mate. Go check it out for us and let us know what you think. It's one of my favorites just because it's tongue-in-cheek. Best character in it is Roddy McDowell, who was in Planet of the Apes. And he plays Peter Vincent, who's a kind of a dried-up old hammer horror actor, and he's got his own night show now called Fright Night. That's where the Fright Night comes from. And they hire him thinking he's a proper vampire killer. He's great. It's very good. Who drew the X-Men cover? I'm not too sure, actually. Where is it? I can't see. There's not a name on it. Let's have a look. See if it says inside. Oh, look at that, man. Look at that artwork on the back. I love these old books. See, this is what makes me happy. I'm doing a video. I was chatting with Fuzzy about this today. I was doing a video about how collecting habits change. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with if you've got a collection suddenly deciding that actually you want to move in a different direction. I've got a big CGC collection and I'm finding I don't get the same pleasure out of it. I pick up a book like this, which is probably worth, what, $5 or something like that? I don't know. And I smile straight away. This is where my pleasure comes from these days, shall we say, rather than the books I have been collecting. Doesn't say on the front anywhere who the artist is. I wonder if it's an uncredited. Yeah, it ain't got anywhere written the cover artist. No. Oh, look at that, man. Special pin-up, Cyclops. Sincerely yours, Scott Summers. I can't see anywhere where you've got like a blurb telling you who the artist is on the book itself, which is interesting, isn't it? But then again, a lot of these reprints, you know, a lot of the artists back in the day did the cover work and things like that, and they just never got credited for it. Never got credited for it. That's a stunner, an absolute stunner. Okie dokie. Let's see where else we've got to. I saw the first mask on Vintage for 35 quid. Comes with Matt Tracker mask. Yeah, I've got that one, pal. I've got that one. Vintage's not a place I really look for comics. You get some good deals on there, Fuzzy, on Vintage. I know you can get. My missus has got shoes and stuff from there, but I've never thought to look for comics on there. Yeah, interesting. But yeah, that mask book with the Matt Tracker masks of beauty. I've got that one. I think that's better than the US cover. Yeah, it's a beaut. I love it. I love it. Cheeky early stream, Pete. It certainly is, pal. It certainly is. I like the black and yellow. Yeah, very cool. I sent you an IG, Fuzzy. Okay, guys, we are coming to the end. I've again gone longer than an hour, so I apologize for that. Just to mention a few things that are coming up on the channel. Massive thank you to everybody that's a channel member. We've got 19 members at the moment, so I really can't thank you guys enough. I really appreciate it, and your support means the world to us, so thank you for that. I've got this video out at the moment talking about some Transformer cards, which my good pal Fuzzy pointed in the direction of, that I got from AliExpress. I genuinely thought when they turned up they were gonna be a load of crap, but actually they're brilliant. They're absolutely brilliant. So well worth checking out. If you're into cards and you fancy getting some of these, check them out. I am live tonight over on Arrowfire's channel at 8 o'clock. We're talking all things Transformers. We're going to be showing off some of the cards I've just mentioned, some of my books and things like that, and talking in general about Transformers. Really excited because it's an interesting panel he's got on tonight. So there's a couple of guys there who I've watched on YouTube but not worked with before, so really looking forward to that. So that's 8 o'clock over on Arrowfire's channel. Please join me and show some support. It would be much appreciated. Tuesday night, we have got panel breakers as usual. Myself, Super Sorrel, Efren, and James T. Keegan doing all the usual geeky news and reviews. So please join me for that. It should be good fun. And then I'm on Only Slabs in a few weeks' time, if I haven't sold Only Slabs by then. There we go. Okay, that's your whack. We've done an hour 15. Thank you so much, everybody. I really, really do appreciate you all sticking with us and watching. As ever, I'm always up for feedback. If there are parts of the show that bore the living tits off you, let us know and I'll cut them out. Or if there are bits you want us to expand on or other things you want us to add, please drop us a line on Instagram and let us know. I want this show to work for you. I enjoy doing it, but I want to make sure you guys are enjoying it as well. So please drop us a line. For now, though, that's your whack. We shall see you at 8 o'clock over on Arrowfire's channel and then back here on Tuesday for Panel Breakers. Thanks. We'll catch you next time. Take care. Bye.
The curtains close. It's time to go. We really hope you enjoyed the show. Check out my channel for more geeky fun and hit like, subscribe before you run. All that remains is our thanks to you from TripleG and his YouTube crew. We really do hope you come on back, but for now, that's your whack. Yeah, that's your whack.